I'm kind of like scatterbrained right now. I was sitting next to a girl, and Mary was overthinking, so I got switched to an empty seat.
Now this is flat out ridiculous. Brandan gets into a fight with Mary on his way to the Philippines because he was sitting next to a girl on the plane, as if it was something he chose to do. The airline and their seating arrangements don't revolve around her insecurities. Come on, Mary, what a petty fight to pick. That's scary.
We're just so used to overthinking and fighting over the phone that it's just become normal for us. But I can only tolerate it up to a certain point.
Understandably, Brandan is now second-guessing leaving his life in America to be with her. If this relationship isn't the epitome of dangerously in love, I don't know what is. Whew, this is 90 Day Replay travel size, where I pack in all you need to know while keeping it light. Hey 90 Day Fans fam, it's Melicia. At the top of this week's episode, Brandan prepares to move to the Philippines to be with Mary. And he reveals he's going there with only $250 in his pocket. Here's why.
Mary and I decided to build a house for ourselves in the Philippines. There was a typhoon that destroyed her home. And over the past year, all my paychecks that were coming in were going straight to building the house and to Mary. It was close to like $50,000, $60,000. I just barely scratched by. So I got $250 in my bank account. So good luck to me.
Yeah, I'm not big on luck, but you're gonna need it. He's moving to a country to be with a girl whose emotions go all over the place over the tiniest things, with barely a dime to his name.
Brandan would probably rather die first than not go over there.
His godparents, who he's been living with, are worried, of course. But he's an adult, at least when it comes to age, so what can they do? All I have to say is thank goodness he decided to do all of this after he signed up for 90 Day Fiancé. I'm sure it gives his loved ones a ton of peace knowing that the production crew will be with him if all hell breaks loose over there in the Philippines.
Really nervous.
Are you?
Yeah.
The day has come for Brandan to leave, and as he approaches the airport, reality starts to hit him. He also wonders if his mom will show up to say goodbye. And she does.
Hey, Mom.
I don't want you to go.
If I was his mom, I would be furious too. This is my son I birthed into this world, yet Mary is walking around like she owns him. And she hasn't even met him in person yet.
There's always that fear that I'm never gonna see you again. You're my son. A lot of the closeness that Brandan and I lost was my fault. When I started using drugs, he lost all faith in what I said and how I lived, and I can't blame him. But once I got clean and sober, where we could have bridged that gap between us, Mary stood in the way of that. And that's the hardest part about watching him go. Part of me is missing.
Once Brandan says his goodbyes, he gets on the plane. And here comes Mary, asking to see who he's sitting next to. He tells her he's sitting next to a girl, but it's nothing he can do about it. Mary then throws a fit and calls Brandan a cheater and tells him, "Oh, you always want to be by the girls." Look at these text messages. She's really working herself up about it.
She's automatically thinking, oh, he's gonna flirt. He's some type of pig.
To appease Mary, Brandan asks to be moved next to an empty seat, but she still isn't satisfied. She goes on to tell him, F you, and he's spending the little money he has to fly to be with her.
I don't think I deserve that.
She then tells him she doesn't want to live a life with him and he doesn't belong with her in the Philippines. You see what insecurities can do? They will literally have you creating a story in your head that isn't real. Nothing about their situation is cute. It's actually really bothersome. and they haven't even had sex yet. And I know many of you know how powerful that can be. Talk about being attached.
She's upset, but no one's sitting next to me, so we're just so used to overthinking and fighting over the phone that it's just become normal for us. But I can only tolerate it up to a certain point. I don't know, like, what to say, what to do. It makes me very worried about whether or not I'm making the right choice going to the Philippines and committing my whole life there.
Wow. She told him not to come there while he's on the plane, and then she told him she's done. These two right here need some sort of intervention ASAP. It's not looking good. All right, next week we hear from Mary.
I'm just so mad at him. That's why I told Brandan that he shouldn't come here. He said he won't be sitting with girls, so I have the reason to get mad.
Well, she's gonna be mad for the rest of her life because the world isn't going to revolve around her inner issues. The goal should be to work on freeing yourself from those insecurities, which I call thorns, not trying to build a life where nothing touches them. What type of life is that? They are both allowing their insecurities to rule this relationship, and they are calling it love. All right, 90 Day Fans fam, let's send Brandan and Mary some positive energy, no matter how bad their storyline gets under your skin. They're still young, they're 23. So hopefully this is not a lifelong pattern they build in their lives. Let's hope so. All right, make sure you stick with ET because we are covering it all. I will see you next time.